So this is where we're at now. I thought I'd start with this, and then I'm going to do work on the painting in the lower right. So I've done quite a bit of work since you looked at it last, resolved some questions, particularly in the area here where the bottle where we worked last time. I realized that the bride's arm should be there, so that's coming down. And now that one vague area, background area, is considerably more resolved. Also, you can see I worked on the hand grasping the glass that belongs to our sailor here. And I just ended up doing indescript black, dark liquor, brown liquor. Now as we move up his tunic, up the arm, we'll work on that face. You can see he's yelling in glee. And then we'll come across a lot more. The bride has been worked on. The bartender / self-portrait. Bit of the shaker glass, although I do need to make some corrections to that. Still haven't laid in that face of this woman here. And like I said, we're going to come back down to this hand right here. So, and I'm going to do this at an oblique angle. I realized a lot of the mixing you can't really see because my hand is in the way. So we'll back out a little bit. Enter this. Now also, since I first started on this piece, the weather has changed dramatically, and that does affect the paint sticks. So as I blend, when it's hot, they are, because they're an oil wax pigment, they soften considerably. And so as the weather changes and it gets a bit cooler, they tend to be a little stiffer to work with. And it's a subtle difference. Of course, I date all my paintings, so it's a little easier for me to tell when they were created. But I can sort of tell by virtue of the how the paint stick moves on the surface. So here it can be very what's the word I want? Almost like icing. It's very slick, not slick, but buttery, and it builds up a nice surface. When it's cool, that surface can take a little more to develop. So what I've done while we were talking here is lay in a bit of the alizarin crimson, and then I'm going to lay in some of this orange to help sort of soften that transition and start to get the highlight areas and shadow areas of this hand. So what we've got are 4 fingers, the thumb. Actually, let's give a little bit of the thumb popping across right here. So it's holding the stem glass of the Manhattan. And we're going to start laying that in. Now, she's very pale skinned, which of course you can't see her upper shoulder, but you may remember it from the start of the video. And so I'm going to lay in a lot of this yellow, which is going to, of course, get mixed with the white as we move down. Now, so I'm moving down the figure, the fingers, and then this pinky is sort of extended. Now you can see that some of this cool is mixed into the white right here in the hand. Now I'm going to have to make that transition, and because, excuse me, this has been done almost a week ago now, it's quite dry. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to decide the mixing point, transition point, I guess would be a better word. And then we're coming up this finger, and we want to sort of show the joint. So I'm pressing really hard right here on the first, or actually second part of the digit, the first being the fingernail. Now I'm going to come back in there and hit some of that fingernail again. So those are the 3 fingers, you know, the index, middle, and ring. And then the pinky is sticking out here, you know, because after all, she's a classy lady at a classy joint, right? So, find the red oil stick here. And actually, I was just reading on Facebook, another painter friend of mine was quoting a Faulkner, I think it was, that art really happens in the what you leave out, the minimal amount of detail to communicate the maximum amount of story. I'm missing a paint stick here. My cool white is AWOL. That's a problem. Sorry about that. There it is. All right, so I'm going to pick up some of this transition here. There we go. Now we got some cool in there. And now we got too much cool in there. So we're going to pick up this warm again, much right here. Come back with that. See what we get. I'm going to end up drawing that whole hand again. So I'm going to mix a little bit. I also see that I forgot to put my vinyl gloves back on. So apparently I am okay with getting some dirty fingers today. And that's really all it is. It just, I use a combination, or have used a combination of Gojo, which is a car auto mechanic cleaning, and dish detergent to break through the grease, in essence the grease, the oily residue. Actually, I like the way that turned out. I think that transition worked out nicely. So that's the part of the hand. Now we're going to work into, and these dark outlines here. So the bar surface we've established as this salmony orange. And this is shadow, so we're going to make that area a bit darker. So I'm going to lay the alizarin crimson down first. And so this is her hand, shadow. And then the arm going on up to the edge of the bar. Yeah, that's sort of the transition there. So we've got that as the shadow, or the base of the shadow. I think use just a little bit of red right here and here, which is going to become the bar surface itself. Again, back with those, because that's the edge of the napkin right there, down into the Manhattan glass edge. And then that, well, that's actually what the martini, I guess. And there's a little bit of that martini form, and just because, to help clarify that that's what that is, we'll just put a little bit below there. So I got to remember that this red right here is her pinky nail when I go to the next phase. So now, remember I picked up some of that cool up here when I was doing that, so I'm going to wipe this off, get it cleaned off, because what I want to do is pick up all this red, soften it, a bit paler. Again, remembering that fingernail is there. And work back. Now I have, again, this is the oil bar that I'm less a fan of than the paint stick. And so I've had to go and order more paint sticks. Hopefully those will be here sometime next week. And so that will hopefully be before I finish this piece. Probably will be. I don't know. There's a lot going on in my life besides this painting, so that's why it's been a couple of days since I've done a video. So that's sort of the basic premise here on how to mix this. So you see I laid red down, then white. Now I'm laying orange on top of that. So that's giving me a very different color than if I had done that mixing, say, the other way around. Orange first, then red. I mean, then white, then red. Would be a pretty radically different color. I encourage you to try that out. And I slipped a little bit there, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. So now, I think without adding white, try it first anyway, lay back over this alizarin crimson with the orange again. Yeah, I think that's going to work. And so that gives me the shadow color on the bar. And a little bit of this white pickup It's a good thing because that alizarin crimson tends to be one of the more translucent colors. So just a teeny bit of white in it helps with its opacity. It's the same thing. So again, I'm just laying this orange over top of the alizarin crimson without mixing in any white. So you can see there how that's got a little bit of translucency to it. Now part of that is because I'm getting down to the end of this orange and I'm getting some drag. So I'm going to put that little nubby away, pop out a new paint stick. Sorry to be doing that on camera, should have had that ready to go, but I was eager to get back to painting. So I'll just run my thumb down the backside here. And again, what I love about these, so again, that's the artist paint stick. And then we're going to just peel that paper right off and see how easy that comes off now. Now the other thing is, the skin, the thing that is the dried painting, is on here as well. So I just sort of, I call it like trying to light a cigarette lighter. So I just knock off a bit of that, and now I've got that nice soft, so see, nothing orange. And now I can work that, start working that surface. And then that edge is all around here sometimes. That's what was getting in the way with the other piece. So that's there. Now we're getting a better movement. Takes a little bit to get these going. And again, I said, it's cool in the studio tonight. We went from temperatures in the low 90s a couple of days ago, and now right now I think it's about 55 degrees outside, and sadly not much more than that inside my studio. So again, we've got this red light in here. I think I might add a little bit more for the other light areas, and that will help define that shadow better. Lay in some of the white. And then I want to get that alizarin crimson off of there. And now come back in and try to get something, it doesn't have to be exact, but similar to this color. It's a little less white, and I think that might actually be a good thing. All right, and now we move up into this area, which I doubt you can see, but so I'll go ahead and come across here. And again, we've got the shadow of this woman drinking the cocktail in the black dress, if you remember. We'll lay in some more alizarin crimson right here, but so I think we'll take it down to about there. All right. And then take the red again, so that I'm mimicking that color over there. Lay it in here, but that little spot right there is her thumb. So tell you what, I think I'm going to go ahead and get my yellow. And that little dab. There's her thumb coming around the glass. And I may already be thinking, maybe that should have been a cool color. So actually this would be a perfect example. So I'm going to lay this in. So this is the light striking part of the bar. And now, you may have noticed earlier that there was a pocket knife. So I'm going to scratch out what I just did. See, and see the paint right there? Wipe that off. So that's the area that was the thumb. We're going to put in just, let me get it started. Again, it's dried, so I want to wipe it off so it's free to move. A little bit of purple. Come back with that white that I was using before. And there. So yeah, that makes much more sense to me. So that's her thumb. We're seeing the shadow side. just as we're seeing these other shadow side areas. I want to soften that a bit. The inside of the hand going to the thumb, around, and yeah, I think that looks good. So that's as far as I'm going to show you today. Going to keep working on the piece. Maybe I'll do another little scan around after we're done. But this is the Shiva Paintstiks. My website is gregleach.com, where you can see all of my other paintings that I've done this way. Also, the Richson Art is richsonart.com. I'll post all these links, and then if you want to buy this set of colors that I use, I'll give you the link through Amazon where you can buy the set pre-made with my colors, so you don't have to try to guess what I'm using here. And yes, I do get a little bit of money back on purchases through that, so obviously I would be thrilled if you would do that, buy them there. Please feel free. I encourage you to share your paintings with Paintstiks, what you're doing. Love to see it. It always intrigues me what other people can do with this media and how it differs from what I do. I think I'm going to put a little bit of that same color right across here as the light picks up that other part of the bar. A little bit of orange here, the vermilion, alizarin crimson rather, and then mix that in. So I hope you'll share that stuff with me. I hope you will like the page, subscribe if you like what you're seeing, if you learned something today. And thanks for watching. Truly appreciate it.